So welcome to 2023, you and your numerology for this year. For those who don't know, I love dabbling in a little bit of numerology. I do love dabbling in some of the more metaphysical type of energy work. And numerology is something that I've been doing for a very, very long time. And I decided that I would actually do this little webinar tonight. And the reason for it is because 2023 is actually going to be a bit of a massive year. For those who also follow astrology, we are just about to go into Mercury going out of retrograde again, which is really good. So the beginning of this year up until this point has been probably a little bit hectic and chaotic. But things are just about to change. So 2023 is a really interesting year. And when I start going through the energy of 2023 as a whole, as a universal energy, I just want you to come to mind the fact that we have gone through 2 years of COVID getting to here and a year of, I guess, uncertainty is what I'm going to call it next year, where people weren't sure what's happening, what's not happening. So when you think about what we've just gone through and what the energy this year brings, you're going to understand that, you know, sometimes we think things that just happen, just coincidence, but you actually will understand a little bit more meaning behind this year and what leading into it has been about. So let's have a look. Again, for those who are going to watch this on the replay, whether you're watching it on the replay or you're here live, make sure that you grab pen and paper because you're going to need it to add up some things in a little while. But let's have a look at the year 2023 first. So when it comes to numerology, what we do is we actually add numbers up. So when we add 2023 together, we get the number 7. And the energy of a number 7 is all about looking inward. It's all about review, reflection. It's all about research, looking for answers, spiritual awakenings. So it's the year, I call it the year of you know, education. It's great to learn to study. It's a year of going to find your own answers and to figure out what's going on as a whole and how you fit into the universe. Now, this is the energy. It's important to understand that this is the energy of the whole world this year. And when you look at what's happened over the last couple of years, you can understand and sort of get how we got to a number 7 right now. Because people are going to be looking inward, like what's happened over the last 3 years. People are going to be wanting to research things, looking for answers is going to be a massive one, and spiritual awakening. So although you're going to get your own number, or usually it's numbers, I'll explain that for 2023 in a moment. You have to remember that your numbers are going to work inside the container of the universal energy of 7. So that people that you meet will be, and the energy of the world as such will be all about reflection, introspect, research, looking for answers, and spiritual awakenings. So let's have a look at some of the things to expect, what sort of influences you're going to get from the outside, and some of the things that you have to do to sort of navigate this year. So one of the things is that you will need a lot of alone time, because the universal energy is 7, but that will also reflect on you as well. So it's a year for spending time with yourself, using your intuition. It's a great year for being in a student mode, because it's all about learning and looking at research and other things. So if there's something you've wanted to study for a while, this is definitely the year to do it. Looking for answers. Okay, why am I here? What's this all about? What's going on? It's also a year that can create outside of you and also inside of you and what I mean by outside influences, this is about things that you're going to do with other people, things outside of your home, things that you're going to do out there. It might be a year where you might not have the clarity that you're wanting or that you've had in previous years coming up to now, and that might cause a little bit of confusion. One of the things that a number 7 universal energy, sorry, I'll just keep letting people in, does not support, it is not a time for expansion and change. So unless when we go through your personal year, there are some numbers where you might get into your personal year where it might say that it might be a year for you to expand. You need to make sure that the expansion and the change is more internal than external. Okay, so it's not about expanding out there or changing things out there. It's more about changing things in your world rather than the universal world. So you need to work and you need to understand that the universe as a whole will carry this energy, and then you will have your own energy, and you need to fit your energy into the outside influences of what's going to come up in the year 2023 as a whole. And what tends to happen is you will hear about these factors on the news. If you watch the news or you read the news, you will start seeing that there's a lot of confusion around things, that people are going to be looking for answers, that people are not going to be very receptive to change. So it's really, really interesting to see what happens out there, and then to have a look at what you can expect for your year as well. Historically, in a number 7 year, we've got some really interesting history here. In 1951, and 19 plus 5 plus 1 is 7 as well, the first colour TV was introduced. And in 2005, believe it or not, Facebook debuted in 2005. And the popular game Sudoku was actually introduced or sort of got more popular in 2005. So they're the sort of things that have happened in a number 7 year. And let's see what happens this year, because it is a year for research and a year for people looking for different things, different answers. And so what tends to happen, it tends to be a year of invention as well. So calculating your own personal year number. The way we do this is we get the day of our birth plus the month of our birth plus the year 2023. Now, if you have a look at the example, this is actually my birth date. So what you do is you add up the day of your birth. So I'm born the 11th of May. So I add 1 plus 1 plus 5, because you don't need to add the zeros, plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. It equals 14. And then I add 1 plus 4 and it equals 5. So at my birthday, now there's 2 schools of philosophy here. Some people say that you enter this energy at the beginning of the year, but I have always believed that your energy changes from birthday to birthday. Because when you think about it, I wasn't here in January at a year 5 when I was born. So my year 5 starts at my birthday, not at the beginning of this year. Because when I was born in May, how could I have half a year and then start another whole year cycle again? So it goes birthday to birthday. So it doesn't matter whether you're born in January or whether you're born in November, you're calculating your personal year number starts at your birthday. Now, if like me, okay, my birthday is in the middle of the year, up until my birthday, I actually add the year 2022 to it, which is usually a number left. So I'm a year 4. So for the first half of 2023, I'm still a year 4 personal number at my birthday. I flip into year 5 until the 11th of May, 2024. So if anyone doesn't quite understand what I just said, please let me know and I'll explain it again, because this is really, really important to understand. Now, when you add up your birth date, if your numbers add up to 11 or 22, we do not make them a single digit. Every other number that you can add up to, if it's not 11 and it's not 22, then you go down to a single digit. But if you get the number 11 or you get the number 22, you do not bring it down to a single digit.
Why is that, Sandra?
Because they're master numbers. They're master numbers. They've got a lot more energy around them. And you'll see as we go through each single number for each year that they have a lot more energy around them. So you need to leave them at an 11 and at a 22. Okay, so go ahead now and add up your birth date. So remember the day of your birth, the month, and 2 plus 2 plus 3, because we don't add the zeros and then bring it down to a single digit unless you get an 11 or a 22. Now, you might want to, while you're doing this too, is do it also with the year 2024. And remember that you will be one number, personal year number, until your birthday, and then it flips into the other one. So as I said, you're going to get the recording of this. So we're going to go through all the numbers one by one, and you will be able to go back and review this. So you have an opportunity, especially like myself, if your birthday is in the middle of the year, to finish off the year that you now have until you flip into the new year and then go into that new energy. Yes, correct. If you're a December baby, absolutely, you will always be almost a whole year behind. Yes. Yes. But what you've got to remember with numerology too, like my birthday's in May, right? But I will start feeling the energy of a number 5 probably a month before as well. Okay, so if you're a December baby, you'll start feeling it a month behind. So it's not about being a year behind. It's just about understanding that you go birthday to birthday, because these are full cycles. And the full cycle is really 1 to 9. But when I get to year 11s, a year 11 is a multiplied 2, and a year 22 is a multiplied 4. And you'll understand as we go through it that as well. So January babies pretty much on time. Yep, January babies get in pretty straight away. Okay, so all you got to remember is that you have to look at the overarching universal energy. That's the most important thing first, and then look at your personal number. Now, when it comes to numerology, there's a lot of numbers, a lot of numbers. Give me a mini explanation of the energy of year 6. We're going to actually be going through your personal year numbers in a moment. The year 6 itself, 2022, it doesn't matter anymore because it's now finished. It's your personal year now. So, okay, let's get going. All right, so those who got a year 1, for me, anyone who's in a year 1, this is really, really exciting if you're going into a year 1, because this is about the year of moving forward and planting the seed. it's the beginning. It's the beginning of the next 9-year cycle that you're going to go through. So the best way to think about it is a year one is all about new opportunities, right? And it's about planting the seeds of what you want for the next 9 years. So year one is always really, really exciting, right? So it's the year to stick to what your head says, you know, and set out big goals and go for them. Year one is all about starting everything new, right? Taking, you know, if you've been thinking for a couple of years of doing something new and you've waited, if when you hit the year one, go straight into it and start to do what it is that you need to do, because it is about planting seeds. Okay, and I like to talk about our personal years almost like growing plants, because it makes a lot of sense this way to people. So year one, we're planting the seeds, right? Starting again, we're going brand new. It's time to do everything new, things different, things that we haven't done before. Year two, right? Because think about it like this, you've planted your seeds and now you've got to water the seeds, right? They're under the ground. You can't see what's happening. In a year two, it is really, really important to resist the temptation of wanting to know what's happening under the ground. So resist getting impatient. What you need to do in a year two is keep watering those plants, knowing with faith that something's going to happen. So you have to trust the process, right? So you've planted the seeds in a year one, and now you're watering them and you're waiting to see what's going to happen. It is also the year of listening to your inner voice and to keep the faith. This is the biggest thing, right? Don't let your head run away with your thoughts. This is about trusting the process. It's also a year that you have to watch, because you can be extra sensitive and might take things a little bit too personally. Now, remember I said an 11, we're going to talk about a year 11 in a moment. If you did get number 11, it's a year two amplified. Okay? So it's all about trusting your inner voice, faith, knowing that this is all going to work out, that all the seeds that you planted in year one will work out in year two. So those little seedlings will absolutely, definitely come to fruition eventually. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. This doesn't want to, here we go, doesn't want to move. There we go. So then we go to year three. If you are currently a year three, you're going to move in a year three. This is about the year being creative and imagination. Year three is probably the most creative and imaginative of the whole lot. It's about having fun, right? Doing the things you enjoy often. Now, you've planted those seeds and the little seedlings are starting to grow. So celebrate that the seedlings are growing. Be optimistic, be positive. Know that that seedling is going to grow into a mature plant. It's also a great year to spruce up where you live and where you work. Year three is all about your imagination, your creativity. And I guess in a way, to me, this almost, signifies going back to being that child again and having lots of fun, right? You planted those seeds, you've meticulously watered them. They've now sprouted. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's not get too serious. Let's just enjoy the year as it is. So remember that. And it's important to be optimistic this year if you're a year three. year 4. And as I said, until May this year, I'm going to be a year 4, right? I've been in a year 4 since my birthday in May last year, which I already knew. A year 4 is the year to get organized. It's all about organization, systems, and getting all your stuff done and organized, ready to go. You roll up your sleeves and you get work done. Okay, so the fun we had last year, sorry, back to a little bit of seriousness here, but it's more about making sure everything that you do is completely organized. It's the year to declutter, which is something that I've been doing for the last 6 months and still doing. It's a great time to organize and budget your finances, so organize your finances. It's a great year to get fit and healthy. It's a great year to network and meet new people. Now, because it is a year of doing a lot of work, organizing and all those sorts of things, you've got to remember that you need to balance it with a lot of rest. Now, remember our universal energy is a 7. And 7 was all about being alone, resetting, reviewing. So as a year 4, right? Yeah, I've got to pull up my sleeves and do the work, but I have to remember that I'm working inside the container of that year 7. So it's telling me I've got to balance. So in fact, what I've got to do is amplify that balance a little bit and make sure I rest and have a lot of alone time. And again, year 4, number 22, if you're a 22, is an amplification of a year 4. Okay, so it's all about organization, getting the work done, being serious, head down, getting done what you need to get done to get organized. Year 5. Year 5 is actually one of my most favorite years. I will go into a year 5 in the middle of this year, which is really great. It's all about being spontaneous, a year for fun and freedom. Year 5 is all about breaking free, right? You've had that really strict year 4 where you've had to get organized and work, and now it's about freedom. I've done it, I'm organized, I've got everything under control, and now I can go and have some fun and some freedom. It's all about travel. It's all about going on adventures. It's all about change and allowing change to actually come into your life. In your home, it's all about renovating and repairing things at home. And what tends to happen in a year 5, if you do any renovations in a year 5, they tend to completely overtake. And you might say, oh, I'm just going to fix this little area of my house, and then it just spreads everywhere. Because it's a year of having, because you've organized everything, you know exactly where you are, so you can be a little bit more frivolous, okay? But it's also a year to make sure to finish what you started in year 4. So, you know, if you, let's say May comes along and I'm still trying to get organized, I don't just let it go. I have to finish all of that. So whatever commitments you made in that 4th year, that year 4, you have to make sure that you finish them. So you have to finish everything you started. And it's a year to expect the unexpected. Like I said, I really enjoy year 5s because they're lots of fun, and I love freedom, and I love to travel, and I love that feeling of I've done so much hard work the year before, I'm organized, I know where everything's at, now I can relax a little bit and have a little bit of fun. If you're going into a year 6, this is the year to settle down and attend to your responsibilities, but this is a little bit different than year 4. This is a year all about nurturing. And it's all about your family, your home, and relationships. You tend, if you're going into a year 6, you tend to become a magnet for others who will seek you out as a friend and ask for advice and ask for help. This year is all about others more than you. So it's really important to know that that's going to start happening. And if you look at the year 6, it's actually the metaphor of a number 6 is a pregnant woman. So it's all about nurturing and it's all about other people. So make sure that you realize in the year 6 that there will be a lot of people around you that need you, and you must look after and nurture your family, your relationships, or else they will dwindle. And you may think about also the way you appear to others. It's a year where you will actually look at your external appearance, and not just the way you dress, but also the way you present and the way you speak and the way people see you in the year 6. It becomes very important because the focus is out there rather than in here. Who am I? The year 7. Okay, so if you're going into a year 7, you've got double of the energy of this year. If you're going into a year 7, you've just come out of a year of looking after other people. It is now a year for reflection and meditation. This is the year that is all about you. You need to literally create and seek me time. You need to create time to recharge, reset, and reflect. As I said, we are in a year 7 year. So this will be amplified if you're in a year 7 personal year with the universal year. Make sure you spend a lot of time in self-care in a year 7. Spend time in nature, alone time, solitude, and listen to yourself. Have boundaries, and if you don't want to do something, say no. It's supposed to say be patient and don't push. This is not a year to push. Year 7 is all about research. It's all about finding answers. It's all about getting to know who you are. It's a great year to study. Year 7 is always about study, so it's a great year for you to study as well. Then we move into year 8. Year 8, we all know that if we turn the 8 upside down, it is the infinity sign. Year 8 is when you actually reap the rewards of those seeds that you planted back in year 1. And it's the time to get things done. This is the year to be the boss. This is the year which is all about money, power, success, empowerment. This is the year where you have to stand up and claim your rights here on earth. Get organized, put systems into place. Really, you should have these already from year 4 and charge forward. In year 8, if you do not grab a hold of your abundance and push through and really shine your light, you can actually miss on the opportunity that a year 8 actually is. It's a great year to get your finances in order because it tends to be a year where you're going to make more money. As long as everything before it has been organized the way it's meant to, it is a year of absolute abundance. This is the year where you must trust your logic. Okay, can I just ask that, I'm not sure who that is, to please check that everyone's muted. So the year 8 is more about trusting your logic than your intuition and going for it. Grabbing all the opportunities that you get because it is the year for success. Very, very amazing year. And I guess if you look at it with the metaphor of the plants, we're picking the fruit off our plants, the fruit or the veggies that we planted the seeds, and we've nurtured them and we've nurtured them and we've nurtured them, and we've gotten to this stage, and now the fruit is there and we're going to start taking that fruit. So that's what a year 8's all about. Year 9 is a year of endings. Things come to a natural conclusion. It's time to tidy up all the loose ends in your life, and I mean all the loose ends. It's about cleaning the house, so to speak. But when I say the house, I don't mean just your physical house, your mental, emotional house. It's all about anything that doesn't work for you anymore. This is the year to get it out. It's about reviewing and stop doing things that don't serve you. So in other words, it is all about, right? Sorry, I'm just going to check someone's not muted and I have to, my apologies. Okay, that should be all. It's all about the year. It's like, let's say we've planted our seeds, we've gone through the growing of the plants, we've now taken all the fruit off the tree, and now we're pulling the old plants out and we're going to, sow the soil. Okay, ready for the next year 1 that comes straight after the 9. Okay, so it's all about endings, and you will find that things that don't serve you will actually come to a natural end. Now, I said we'd talk a little bit about these master numbers. So a year 11, as I said, is a supercharged year 2. So if you have or are going into a year 11, you will have supercharged intuition. It's a great year. These are called, year 11 and 22 are called master numbers. And if you have these anywhere, there are people that I know that can go through and never have a master year. But if you have these numbers anywhere in your chart, and if you're going into a year 11, it's all about a great opportunities, but also great challenges, because it's about mastering your life. With a year 11, it's all about trusting your gut. You will get through the challenges this year if you listen to your intuition. Really important. Great year if you're not in a relationship to meet that someone right. So anything to do with a year 11 or the number 11 is actually a direct channel to higher self or universal consciousness, whichever way you want to look at it. So if you're going into a year 11, you've got those channels open, but you must trust your gut, and there will be massive opportunities for you, but also with that will bring challenges, because it's about mastering your life. In a year 22, the year 22 is actually called the Master Builder. And again, you're going to get great opportunities, but also great challenges. But here, the payouts from your challenges are going to be huge. You need to stay focused, disciplined, and take action. If you go back and have a look at the number 4, because if we add 2 + 2, it talks all about having systems, getting organized. And that's what you have to do in a year 22. Organized, focused, be disciplined, take action. Again, it's about mastering your life. Health is a priority in a year 22. It's a great year to teach, to start a new business, or to invest in something, because it's about starting the foundations as a builder, as a master builder. And when you build foundations in the year 22, they are long lasting. So they're not just for the 9-year cycle that we usually do, they're long lasting. So basically, that's it in a nutshell. That's a very, very, very half an hour, very simplified version of the year to come. Remember that your personal year is you. but the universal year is everything else around it. So you need to think about, how do I fit my personal year inside that universal year? And you will see that universal year absolutely playing out there on media and on lots of things that will happen as we go along through this 2023. So just work out what year you're in, when you're going to flip into the other year, and just remember what the energy is, because once you are aware of what sort of energy, you're going to be able to navigate 2023 a lot easier. I think this is going to be a really great year, and I think the reason why it's going to be a really great year for everyone in general is because people are going to be searching for answers, are going to be looking for things. So when they're looking for things, new people, new reasons why we're here, what happened over the last 3 years, I think you're going to find that community and that connection between us as humans is going to be a lot closer. So basically that's it, guys. If anyone has any questions, please pop it in the chat. In a moment, I'll stop the recording and then I will stop the slideshow, but just for everyone's privacy, I'm not going to do that just yet. So if anyone has any questions, I'm 23 this year, 23 equals 5, but last year would have been 22, so don't break them down. Well, I'm a 23 this year. Yeah, last year would have been a 22. Yeah, so last year would have been your master builder year, absolutely. If you were going to be a 20, if you were a 22, yeah. 2 + 2 = 4, but you're still in the year 22, because if I remember correctly, your birthday is July or August, I think. So you're still in a year 22. So follow the energy of a year 22 and the 4, right? Because a 22 is 4 amplified. And then you will flip into a year 5. Exactly right. Thank you. Can you please flick back to your year 5 and 6? Yes, I can. Remember, you will have these as well. So you're going to be able to revisit this whenever you want. So there's the 5 and the 6. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording, guys.